Hi guys, welcome to a little bit of short treehouse training. We're going to explain today how you get a video source from the stage to come out of your projector and show up on the screen. As kind of a preface to that, we're also, if you require audio from it, the audio is going to generally run down a separate line, so we just have this little adapter cable coming out of the audio jack of the laptop into our PCDI, which gives us our XLR output, and that just goes into our regular audio system, like any input you may have up here on the stage goes down to your board and then can be sent out to your mains. Now with the video, we have an HDMI coming out of our laptop, and it is running down to this decimator converter, which is converting our HDMI to an SDI output. And this guy is being powered just off of a USB, all right? This guy is running to the back of the stage here, into this box, the top of which is labeled FOH, and that's an SDI line running up to your front of house area where all your boards are, all right? So let's go and take a look at something down there.
So here's your loop from the stage, your SDI that's coming from front of house stage right into your projector.
Where's that line going? Back out to the projector. So it's basically running down the same course and going back to your projector. All right. So that's our hookup. Now, one last thing you need to be aware of. When you're hooking up to this particular system, it's kind of an older projector, so you need to make sure your output is set to 1080i. If you do it any other way, you'll have problems. All right, and that's your generic video hookup here in Treehouse. Okay, now let's talk quickly about setting up some cameras in here. Real simple. You guys know how the tripods go, you know how the cameras fit on them, and you know how to get them all balanced and everything. All that still applies here when you're in the Treehouse, just like it did when you were running PP2. So get everything set up in there, and then the actual signal flow, we're coming out of the back of our camera with our SDI line, and that is running into a dedicated line here on the tree, and the other end of this is going to front of house. So this one's always in place, all right? Now, if you have to put another camera in here, then it gets a little trickier. You don't have installed cables for that. So let's check out our other camera. So our other camera, everything else that we did on there still applies. Set your tripod upright, get it balanced, all that's still good. This one, however, we have our SDI line coming off the back, and it's running, it's a home run, directly back straight into the back of our switcher.
Okay, welcome to the overview of the Ross crossover switcher. You have seen other videos regarding this switcher, but this is just going to be a refresher. We have two inputs right now from our cameras, camera 1 and camera 2. We could put camera 1 into preview, which is your lower level here, and then we can take it by hitting cut or auto trans right here, and it goes to the top. Okay, so we always take from the preview row and cut to the top row. Okay, so again, this line here is your program. This is your line cut. Anything that you do will be recorded right here. There's no way of getting around it. If you accidentally push something live here, like I hit green, one of my sources that I don't have in, I just recorded that. It's going to record black for me. Okay, so we have to cut back to something. Up top here are your auxes and your keys. What this allows you to do is build different keys with different auxes. Your keys are key selects that you are able to bring in at special times. Like if I do key select 3 and I do shift 8 M2, now I hit key select 3 down here, and we'll see that. Why it looks like an overlay currently is because it's self-keying. We just want it as a DVE, a digital video effect. Okay. Now that we have that, we can actually scale this down and put this in the corner and do a picture-in-picture. On this switcher, you're limited to 3 keys. On other switchers, they grow more. 4 is a common number. Okay. We had to do the shift though to get the second media right here. Up top here is media 1 and input 7. I don't have anything in input 7 or input 8, so I have to do shift that, and you can see it's switched to special report. Well, I could do something if I wanted to go back, hit my DVE, and make this 100% again. You can also hold the button. Oh, never mind. DVE, position it to 100. Position it over to 0, past 0. Position this over to 0, because we just want it back perfectly in the frame. Just like that. Well, I can take this and not make it a DVE anymore and make it a key like that, okay? And what it's telling me is that the weather map is still on, which we don't want it on. So we can take that key out. I don't know why the weather map is on. But we can put the special report on top of anything. Let me see what's up with that key select 3, shift, M. There we go. Auto key it. That is goofy. So for some reason I have the weather map showing along with that, and it should not be. I don't know why they're tied together. Which is interesting. So as we shift, we want to make sure we turn off the key when we're not using it. And we can go back to ready camera 1. Or let's ready camera 2 instead. And cut camera 2. Ready camera 1. Auto trans, which is a nice dissolve, which we get right here, this disc button for dissolve. And goes for that. Okay. Some other things you can do that are really interesting are if I wanted this picture number 2 and number 1 up at the same time, I could hit in my delegates here, I could hit DSK 1. And that stands for downstream key. DSK 2, and I'm holding them at the same exact time. Okay, and then we're going to hit background. So all 3 of these are lit up. And now I'm going to turn my background to black in my preview. And something's up. So DSK 2 should be a DVE position there. And then now I have my next cut is going to cut all three of these together. Background, which is black, key 1, which is the close-up of the podium, key 2, which is the long shot of the podium, and as soon as I hit cut, we have a picture-in-picture just like that. Okay. Which can be very helpful when you're trying to show two different aspects. These could be things that are like graphics on one side, stuff on the other. Very simple to make. Now the only problem is when I want to cut back, I need to make sure I cut back with all of these on. We're going to ready camera 1. So these are all selected still. Cut back to camera 1, or I dissolve to camera 1. And then I'm just going to have to hit background again. And then ready camera 2 and hit dissolve for background 2. Okay. And that is the main functionality of a switcher. Again, your preview, your program, your keys and your auxes. We can send these out to different places. If I wanted to control what's going out to a projector or something like that, I do it through my auxes. Okay. And you can store just a few memories, as they're called. They're also known as macros in more common sense. So the way I would do that is I'd build out my thing again, change that to black. I would go store, and I'd make it bank 1, memory 1. Oh, I guess it's going to make it memory 1 for me. And I stored it. And I want to bring it down to a preview. No. Recall my preview. And then we're done. Then I turn it all off. Just have to hit that. Okay, here I am. I go to recall, memory 1. But for now, we're not getting into recall for whatever reason. Okay. Do remember, as when you're using this, you do need to go into menu, reference, next, and do the internal frame sync for these computers. The internal frame sync allows you to use sync 1, and then I hit frame sync, and it's doing input 1 for camera 1. And then I would do reference, next, frame sync 2 for input 2. And that way you're allowing your cameras to be in sync with one another. This also goes if you're using a computer to run into here or anything. Any sort of source needs to be frame synced. Now you only have 4 frame syncs on this machine. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just need to be mindful of that. And of course, when you do set it up, you have to do configure, input, nope, configure, system, menu, system, multi-viewer, preview on. So it takes it out of the preview port on the back. And program 2 on, which I'm using now to feed another source. And that's just giving me the multi-viewer. Okay. And then when we're all said and done, we go to reset, menu, reset. Load. Default, confirm, and it goes back to the way we had it. Factory reset. So here we go. Menu, reset, next, next, factory reset, confirm, and everything goes down. Okay. And that is an overview of the switcher. This is the back of the switcher where our two camera inputs are coming in. We have camera 1 here into input 1, camera 2 here into input 2, and then we have our various outputs. One of the outputs goes to the recorder, one of the outputs is going to my recorder, and the other one goes to the different scan converter that we have here that is used for your display right here. Down here is the back of the recorder. You can see we just have one going in, and then you would also have an XLR going in. So audio and video would go right into your recorder, and then you record to a solid state drive. Make sure you plug the one power strip in, so there's no issues with that.